Welcome to the Path of Month Least Resistance. Here we're going to talk about the monthly challenges for the month of September 2024. This month doesn't look too hard. If you want to see a video on how I decide what to use for each champion, you can see my last video. I'll have a link to that in the description. I'll also have a link to my monthly planner and Zate8's monthly planner, so that you can use those resources to make your own spreadsheet using whatever you have available to you. I have included the champions and bosses list from last week, if that's of interest to you. I also have my builds, and then here's what I plan on using. So this month doesn't look quite as hard as last month, but there's still some things to be worried about. So let's go ahead and start from the back. The last thing that you're going to have to fight is Draven, and Draven isn't too bad, so I wouldn't suggest using a Jinx for it, for example. So I'm going to go ahead and use Misfortune. Mine has a 6-star power, which means that I think she'll be able to deal with Draven no problem. For 69, that's going to be Katarina with round start, kill, all, and revive. I think Annie with Guardian Angel should take care of that. For 68 and 67, those both look very strong, so we're going to throw Jinx at it, because if we use Jinx, then we don't have to think. And that's basically it for the tough adventures in the end set. Most of everything else is like fairly reasonable. On Zate8's planner, he does have difficulty ratings, so you can see about what the automated thing thinks that how difficult they will be. And as you can see, most of the power is in the end, and not in the beginning. So yeah, you can look at that. So we look for things with natural magic, and then we use Master Yi on those. That's all cards cost 2 less. So that'll be number 66. And up here we have it also in number 21. There's one Kai'Sa in 30, and Kai'Sa scares me, so I'm going to just drop Aurelion Soul on it. And since that's the only one, I'll also use Aurelion Soul at 52 for this Victor. I've had problems with Victor in the past, so throwing an Aurelion Soul in it doesn't feel bad, and then we can save our last Aurelion Soul for any tragedy that occurs. If we end up having problems that we don't expect with something else, I'll throw it there. Next, we look for anything with Spellshield. That means that you're not going to be able to use like your removal, so you're not going to be able to use like Yasuo as effectively as you normally would, and you wouldn't be able to use Morgana, things like that. So we have 47, and we're going to throw Master Yi at that one because we have one left. And then we're also going to have that at 33 and 22. So 33 here and 22 here. And I'm going to try using Lilia on them. They're Lilia with Double Stalker's Blade should be able to take care of it. Won't worry about the Spell Shield because it'll go through it. You could also use LeBlanc for that. Either way, I think anything with Stalker's Blade is going to be fine, especially if you can duplicate that champion, which you're able to do with both Lilia and LeBlanc. Then we look for Mortal Marks. We have it at 2 and 8. Yeah, we're just going to throw Jack at that. We're going to give him Armadillo Shell, and that way he can survive a hit, and with the Berserker's Buckle, every time he gets hit, he'll get a little bit stronger, and you'll be able to hit him with his creative thing where you fight each other. I can't remember what it's called at the moment. Next, we look for anything with Katarina, Zed, Azir, or Irelia, and we put our stunners there. So I've marked all of these in red. I've also marked like a couple others, but most of the ones that I'm worried about are either Katarina, Azir, Irelia, or Zed. Since we already have this first 3 covered, we just move down the line, and we have a Zed here, and we're going to be using Annie on that. It is +1 spell and skill damage. So Annie with Luden's Tempest and Dreadway should do a lot of damage there. We have an Azir here, and we're going to use Yasuo on that. This one, Katarina at 51. Since we get extra mana at round start, Vhagar seems like it'd be good into that. And yeah, we just go down the list. 41, we're using Yasuo. 2 Funsmiths here. I think Vagar will go very well into that. And we're going to use Annie here. Yeah, so we just go down the list. This is already covered by Aurelian Soul. Otherwise, I think actually 30 is pretty scary. Those are 2 strong champions that you need to worry about. And then we have Jin for 29 and 28. Vagar on this Irelia at 25. Yasuo for Azir with Mirror Mage at 24. And 2 Jin for Ashe and Irelia at 5. I'm actually kind of scared of this one. This ability here is a +1 attack per card in the player's hand at round start. So if they manage to keep Irelia on the board, she could end up with like 10 power, and then she gets to attack 3 times. That could be very scary. We look for Ezreal. We have him on 37, and we also have him on 10. Yeah, on 10. And so we're just going to throw LeBlanc at the one at 37. It has double power on strike. That sounds pretty good. This one also has extra mana gem, so that could be a problem. And then the one on 10 is pretty early, so I'm not too worried about it. And we'll just drop Volibear there. There's no reason. It should be fine. I'm not too worried about it because it's an early adventure. For 13, I think it'll be funny to put Teemo there because of the kill and revive. Use double Guardian Angel with Star Gem. You end up with like a board full of Teemos, and it's funny. We're going to put Needly wherever there's stream a discount. So I didn't write down the numbers for that, but we have 44, 48, and 53. We're going to take Tahm Kench on 62. This will eat Caitlyn's bombs, and also we have the deal 3 damage to damage units at round start here. That's a little troublesome, but I think we'll be okay with Tahm Kench there. Anything that we get over that amount will keep growing, hopefully. Tahm Kench's power only heals 2, so this might become overwhelming at some point, but Tahm Kench should still be fine into it, I think. If we drop the champion himself, I'm not too worried about it. And then we're also using Tahm Kench on 45 and 40. So player 1 damage to units at round start, and 40 has player units have +2/+2 and take 2 damage at round end. So that with Trendemir's power, we'll just eat the units, and then we don't have to worry about Trendemir's power, and our units will get bigger all the time. Honestly, for that Caitlyn one, and just thinking about it a little bit more, if everything's going well, I might throw my last Aurelian Soul there and just not worry about it at all. We'll see. It's fine to make changes as you go on, but I'm not. Again, I think this will be fine. We'll take Kindred for everything that says Fiora. It's actually more Fioras than we can counter, but for the ones we can, and that'll be 34. 23 and 18. And like nothing really special there. I just like Kindred against Fiora. Basically can't lose. You have Nami for 35 because you get copy spells and we're out of Master Yi's. And for 43 as well, we have -2 spell cost and +1 unit cost. So we should be fine here. Just playing Nami. We have Evelyn on 42. This is going to be you start with 4 mana, but you don't get any more mana. And Evelyn goes really well into that because you can play her immediately. She rallies and stuns everything. Yeah, pretty good. Using Ornn for 46 because we get 10 mana. And then also 27 and 11 for the same reason. So we just mana. Using Jace for the other Karma nodes, so 7 and 1. And then for everything else, like nothing else is really, the mutators don't matter and the bosses don't matter. So we'll just throw our generally strong champions in there. So we have Garen for 65, 64, and I also put him at 50. We have Elise for 60, 58, and 20. I think I put her at 20 because of the evolve here, and we have Irelia, so why not, right? We also have Kai'Sa on 56. My Kai'Sa has 4 stars, so she's going to do fine into those. Also, 36 and 31. This one has evolve at 31. No real advantage here. It's just a strong unit to put down. Using Lux Illuminated on 32, 26, and 19. See, we're just filling in like wherever there wasn't a champion. And we're using Darius on 17 because I wanted my Darius is 4 star, so he comes with a stun, and this has rally at round start, so I figured it would be pretty strong there. But I also pinned him at 3 and 4 just because they're low, and I like Darius to quickly clear those out. Using Samira for 16, 15, and 14. So, yeah, no particular reason. This just Samira's good. And this has Noxus discount. Player refills 1 spell mana, and you start with 3 spell mana here. So I guess that is a particular reason, but it didn't actually matter. You will get to cast more spells with Samira that way. I put Aatrox on 12. I think he'll be able to deal with this pretty well. And then I put Nico on 6 for honestly no reason. Could have used anything there. So yeah, that's it. That's how I filled out my board. I don't foresee any problems, and I think I noticed all of the things that were strong. And there don't seem to be any like particularly bad combos, except for like the normal bad stuff. So I'm just gonna go over those again really quickly. Node 5 has, like I mentioned earlier, has Irelia. The power is called a little off the top, and I'm just a little bit concerned that this Irelia will be able to attack a bunch of times. Also, Ashe will be able to remove your or frostbite one of your units and then attack with bonus power. That's probably less scary than Irelia being able to attack like 3 times. 24 has Azir with Powder Monkey, which means he's going to be able to get attacks in almost no matter what. And whenever he attacks, he's going to make those extra sand soldiers. And so that might be something to worry about. This Irelia is just Irelia. Nothing special about it. On 29, we have Azir and Lee Sin with stun weakest unit 1 attacking. That's actually a little scary because he's going to be able to get more damage through that way. Lee Sin creates the resonating strikes in hand. So he's going to get like 4 extra damage if he does that. And then Azir is going to have +1 mana at round start, which means on round 2 he's going to be able to do Emperor's Divide, which will give him a full board of Sand Soldiers and all your units vulnerable. 33 has Azir with Spellshield, so you're not going to be able to control him, which is a bit scary. 38 has Azir with Evolution, also Katarina with Evolution. I don't think it's particularly stronger than normal, but might be something to watch out for. 39 has Zed and Katarina with 2 Funsmiths and spawn 3 when attacking. This means if Zed hits, even if you remove him afterwards, you're going to take damage from the spawn. Also, if he gets like a second attack in, or same with Katarina, if she gets a second attack in, those will actually go up in power, and those will be able to be another unit that can hit your Nexus, so you're going to want to be concerned about that. On 51, we have Katarina starting with 6 mana gems. This could mean that she could play it like 2 times in the first round. So you might have to deal with extra large units versus normal. I might end up changing Luden's Tempest here to big guns on Vhagar. So if you see that, then that's the thing that I did. I'll update the spreadsheet depending on if I make any changes on it or not. And since I have big guns, I'll almost definitely do that for Vhagar. 57 has Zed with Overwhelm. So foe +2 and Overwhelm. if that hits you, like let's say he plays round 1 Zed, round 2 Dawn and Dusk, you'll be taking a lot of damage. So, yeah. 62 has the Caitlyn with deal 3 damage, 3 to damage units at round start. Like I said before, I might toss a Rolling Soul here because you're going to get hit with the flash bombs, and then you're going to take an extra 3 damage. So everything's going to be taking 4 damage at least, or probably. I don't know. Might be worth using something stronger than Tahm Kench, but Tahm Kench is normally a counter to Caitlyn, so I think it still might be okay. I don't know. It is something that concerns me though. And I'll just color that in. On 63, we have Zed with stun weakest. You're just going to need an extra blocker in order to not take damage. Zed's power is that if he hits you, he also hits the Nexus with his strongest unit, so it seems like an easy way for him to get that extra hit in. I just use Jinx for that because I have an extra Jinx, and that scares me. And then 67 is Irelia with copy spells. I think this is one of the easiest Jinx to think about in my whole life. I would probably not ever think about doing anything else here. 68 again has Azir with bonus mana. We talked about that earlier. You could use Emperor's Divide really early, probably in round 2. And then 69 has Katarina with Revive. Whenever the champion spell is played, all the units get +2/+2. I'm not sure if that'll be the same if she just revives. Hopefully not, but I would still be a little bit concerned about Katarina here. So that's it. This is my plan, and this is my spreadsheet. I hope it helps, and I'll probably be doing the monthly challenges in sets of 5 this time. I did them in sets of 10 last time, and it's kind of a lot of time commitment all at once. So I think by doing the sets of 5, it'll be easier to handle. I'll still probably upload a bunch in the early days, but I'm not planning on doing it quite as quickly as I did it last month. But it should be done, I don't know, maybe by Thursday, maybe before that, depending on what I have going on. Anyway, like I said, hope this helps. And if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.